welcome back to the channel. It has been a crazy couple of months with the quarantine and lockdown and stuff going on, but now that things are lifting, things should get back on track. Now I have a product here from Southord, as you can see. Now I've reviewed a product for Southord before. It was the Jiggler key set, and they worked fairly well. This is the LAT-17. It is a click gun or a lockpick gun. This design has been around for decades. These things have been used forever. The original patent was filed in 1939, with others being filed in the 40s and 50s. And the design and operation really hasn't changed all that much in all that time. One improvement that they've made on their design is this little thumb screw to hold in your little blades here. These are what you use to hit the tumblers. And the way it operates is you put it inside here and you just tighten it down. Now these were originally designed for use by law enforcement and government agents that were not adept to picking locks the traditional way, picking and raking. It's very easy, very fast. That's how it operates, a very simple operation. And this one has an adjustable tension, low, all the way down to high. I'm going to start off in the lowest position first. And it also has an adjustable little thumb screw here for the grip to put it out, but it really doesn't make much of a difference. Just for your hand size, whatever's comfortable for you. I just prefer to have it in the lowest setting. That's fine. I have large hands and it works out just fine. These are, like I said, very fast, very quick. There's really not a lot of skill. It's more of a technique to using these. I'll show you in just a little bit. It's a very good design, the Southord version. It's got nice comfortable grips here, little rubber coatings over it, little slip-on covers. 4 screws here hold everything together, and the inner workings is very simple. A spring and a slip, and of course you've got your tension adjustment. That's pretty much it. Alright, I want to show you on a couple of locks how this thing operates. I almost forgot to mention, also inside the box you do have a little instruction sheet here that tells you how everything works. There. You of course have 3 of these little blades here. Okay, the gun itself, you have 2 straights and 1 curved if you're working on a doorknob that has or a deadbolt that's really close to the doorknob rather, and you have to go around that. That works very well. And you have your tensioner. Now this tensioner has a smaller end here, as you can see. It's kind of beveled, and then it has a wider end for whatever situation you find yourself in. This first lock that I'm going to demonstrate on is just your average run-of-the-mill layered lock, padlock that you get at any hardware store or any big box store. I lost the key to it a long time ago and it's just the cheapo lock that everybody uses at one time or another. All right, let me get it set up in the vise and I'll show you how this pick gun works. Alright, now that we have our lock set up, what you want to do is you want to use your tensioner, and you have your small end and your big end, of course. I'm going to try it with the big end first, and you want to turn clockwise. So you want to get that in there and just make sure you have a good bite. And you want to just use feather tension, very, very light. And in every lock, every tumbler lock anyway, that uses like a average key, you're going to have a lip here on the inside, the little cutaway. And that's where you want to lay your pin. And you don't want to push it too far in. You don't want to put the pin in and then push way up. You don't want to do that. You just want it to bounce up and make contact. Barely make contact. so that it knocks everything up and out of the way. If you push all the way up, you're not doing anything. You're defeating the purpose. You're working against yourself. All right, now what you want to do is you want to use your tensioner, of course, to hold tension, and you just want feather tension. And you have two ends here. You have your smaller end, of course, and you have your larger end. I'm going to go ahead and start with the larger end. Give it a try. And you always have a little cutout here in every tumbler lock just about. And you want this to just rest on that little lip that sticks out there just under your tumblers and your pins. And as you click, you want it to lift up and meet them. You want it to just barely tap them. That's why you have your tension adjustment here. You always want to start on your lowest setting. You don't want to have too much tension and knock everything out of the way. And when you're doing this, you don't want to push up into your tumblers. That's going to defeat the purpose and you're going to be working against yourself. Just let it come up and meet them. All right, let's give this a try. All right. Feather tension. Reset. Feather tension. There we go. Let's reset that lock. We'll try again. Alright, now that we've got our lock reset, let's go ahead and try it again. Alright, feather tension. Barely set it in there. And there it is. Alright, let's move on to a different lock. Alright, this is another common, I guess you'd call it, more of a security lock. You can't really cut it with bolt cutters. Kind of the design, kind of the purpose behind it. Opens this way. Okay. This one really won't fit in the vise. It's kind of rounded, oblong. So I'm just going to have to do it just like this. That's alright. And for this one, our pins are on the top here. Have to hold it a little upside down. That's alright. Put some feather tension there. Get it right on that inside edge. And click. And there we go. It is open. Alright. Now this lock is a lock that I've used on the channel before. It's a security type lock that is used in government buildings, hospitals, etc. on things like lock boxes and lockers and things like that. It's a simple lock. And let's see how it works on this one. This one, if I remember, was very stubborn to pick at times when I was using traditional pick sets with it. Alright, let's go ahead and get our tensioner there. I want to use feather tension. Again, feather tension. And you want to start at the bottom of that slot. Feather tension. 2 clicks. How about that? Alright. Let's try that again. Feather tension. And 2 clicks again. Alright. Feather tension. And 2 clicks. Okay. Two clicks again. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Well, there you have it, guys. Southord's LAT-17 model. This thing is pretty cool, man. I've never gotten a chance to play with one of these click guns or lockpick guns. This is the first one that I've ever owned or used, and I did practice with it a little bit before making the video. I opened the door of my house, the door of my barn, the door of my shop, things like that. It worked fairly well. It took a little bit to get the hang of it. There's not really skill. I would call it more of a technique. Once you get the feel for it and where it should be in the lock and how it works, and to have it at the very bottom of those pins so that it just comes up and meets them. You don't want it to be pushing the pins. You want it to have it at the very bottom of that slot and just the lightest tension, and as you're clicking, kind of gradually turn a little more. You'll get a feel for it. I'm sure I'll get a lot better with it with time as I play with it more. But overall, it's a very easy tool to use. Very simple. Like I said, it was originally designed for law enforcement and government agencies, so they didn't have to take the time to teach those guys how to traditionally pick locks or rake locks. It's just gained entry fairly quickly to properties and inhabitants, things like that. I don't think you'll see very many members of the burglar community using these, because they are very loud, especially when you put it in a door. It vibrates that whole door. It's loud. So I think it's safe to say that it won't fall into the wrong hands, or this will not be their tool of choice. But in saying that, of course, stay legal, guys. Check your local laws, your local ordinances, and don't be that guy that ruins it for everyone else. Use these legally. Check your laws to make sure that you can have them. Some places, I know Virginia for a fact, if you're caught with a lockpick set or one of these, that is a criminal charge. Just check your local laws. Here in North Carolina, it doesn't matter as long as you're not caught during the commission of a crime in possession of one of these. You're fine. Alright guys, overall it is a great product. I would suggest this if you're thinking about getting into lock picking and you're not quite sure. This would be a way to go, because it would get your feet wet and give you that joy and excitement of kind of mastering the puzzle that is a lock, because that's all a lock is. It's just a puzzle just waiting to be solved. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're down there, you might as well subscribe. I'd like to give a very special thanks to Southord once again for sending this. This is a great group of guys over there at Southord. Go over to their website. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Check out the stuff that they have. They have literature, they have lock picks, they have electric picks, all kinds of stuff, man. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.